What happens when a late-night conversation suddenly stops feeling like entertainment and starts feeling uncomfortably real? The lights are warm, the band is playing softly, and the audience is ready to laugh, but something in the air feels different tonight. Jimmy Fallon leans forward with his usual grin, shuffling his cue cards, while Whoopi Goldberg sits across from him, calm, observant, almost unreadable. For a second, the studio feels like it's holding its breath. Before we dive into this moment, hit subscribe to Talk Flair, like this video, and drop a comment. Because tonight's story isn't just another interview. It's a moment people won't stop talking about. The cameras roll. Applause swells. Jimmy opens with a joke, playful, familiar, trying to set the tone. So, Whoopi, every time you come here, something unexpected happens. I'm slightly nervous. Laughter ripples across the audience. Whoopi smiles, but it's subtle. Measured. Maybe that's because you never know what people are really thinking until you ask them real questions. The band quiets. Fallon chuckles, but there's a flicker of hesitation behind it. Well, I mean, that's why we're here, right? To talk. The conversation begins lightly. Stories about films, television, late-night memories. But there's an undercurrent building. Fallon shifts in his chair, sensing it. Whoopi isn't here to perform. She's here to speak. He asks about the current state of entertainment, about how audiences react differently now. Whoopi nods slowly. People are tired of pretending. They want honesty, even if it's uncomfortable. The audience claps. Fallon smiles again, but this time it feels more careful. And do you think we're doing that? Being honest? Whoopi looks directly at him. I think sometimes we try. But sometimes, we're too busy keeping things safe. The words land heavier than expected. Fallon blinks, glancing at the crowd, then back at her. Safe isn't always bad, he replies, gently defensive. It keeps things fun. Fun is great, Whoopi says softly. But truth lasts longer than fun. A murmur moves through the audience. Fallon leans back, processing. The playful rhythm of the show has shifted into something slower, more intense. He decides to lean in. So what's something people aren't saying enough? Whoopi exhales, fingers interlocked. That we listen less than we talk. That we're more concerned with being liked than being real. Even on shows like this. The audience reacts, half applause, half stunned silence. Fallon forces a laugh. You're calling me out already. I'm calling all of us out, she replies. Including myself. The camera zooms slightly closer. The tension isn't loud, but it's undeniable. Fallon nods, trying to regain momentum. Well, I appreciate honesty. Even if it's a little scary. Whoopi tilts her head. It's supposed to be scary. Growth always is. For the first time, Fallon doesn't respond immediately. He looks at her, then at his cue cards, then back again. The energy in the room feels electric, unpredictable. And somewhere in the audience, a whisper spreads. This isn't the usual late-night banter anymore. This is something else. Fallon clears his throat. Let's talk about your journey. You've seen every side of this industry. Fame, criticism, praise. What keeps you grounded? Whoopi pauses, her voice softening. Remembering that none of this is permanent. Not the applause, not the headlines, not even the mistakes. What matters is what you stand for when the lights go off. The crowd claps, louder this time. Fallon nods, visibly moved. And what do you stand for right now? She looks straight into the camera. Honesty, even when it costs me. The words hang in the air like a challenge. Fallon smiles, but it's different now, less host, more human. Well, I think everyone here can respect that. But inside, something shifts. The conversation has crossed an invisible line, and neither of them knows exactly where it's going next. The band plays lightly as the segment moves forward, but the tone has changed forever. This isn't just a celebrity appearance anymore. It's a moment unfolding in real time, raw, unpredictable, and impossible to script. And Fallon realizes he might not be in control of this interview anymore. The next question comes slower. Careful. So, is there something you wish hosts asked more often? Whoopi leans back, studying him. Why people feel the way they feel. Not just what they are promoting. Not just what's trending. Real questions. Fallon nods, absorbing it. Okay, he says quietly. Then let me ask one. The audience goes silent. What are you feeling right now? Whoopi smiles, but there's weight behind it. I'm feeling hopeful and a little frustrated. Because conversations like this shouldn't be rare. The tension builds, steady and thick, like a storm forming just beyond the stage lights. And for the first time that night, Jimmy Fallon doesn't have a punchline. He just listens. The cameras keep rolling. The audience waits. And somewhere between the laughter and the silence, the interview becomes something unforgettable. The room feels different now, heavier, more intimate, like the bright studio lights can't quite hide the honesty that's taken over the conversation. Fallon leans forward, elbows resting on his knees, no longer playing the role of the effortless host. He's listening now, really listening, and the audience can feel it. Whoopi watches him carefully, as if measuring whether this moment will stay real or slip back into performance. Fallon breaks the silence. You know, people think this job is easy. Laugh, tell jokes, keep it moving. But sometimes you don't know what to do when things get real. Whoopi nods slowly. Then don't do anything. Just be there. A quiet hum moves through the crowd, a shared recognition of vulnerability. Fallon smiles faintly. That's harder than it sounds. Of course it is, Whoopi replies. Being real is always harder. The band members glance at each other. Even they feel it, the shift. The rhythm of the show is gone. What's left is raw conversation. Fallon glances down at his cue cards again, then sets them aside completely. The audience notices. A ripple of applause breaks out. All right, he says. No script. Whoopi grins. Now we're talking. The energy changes instantly. There's freedom in the air, but also risk. Fallon takes a breath. You've been outspoken your entire career. Has it ever cost you something, personally? Whoopi doesn't answer right away. Her eyes drift toward the audience, then back to Fallon. Yes, she says simply. Friendships. Opportunities. Comfort. The word comfort lands hard. But it gave me something bigger, she continues. Peace. The audience claps, louder this time. Fallon nods slowly, absorbing every word. And do you think people in entertainment are afraid of losing comfort? Whoopi smiles knowingly. Everyone is. Fallon exhales, leaning back. Even me. The confession surprises the audience. A few gasps. Whoopi raises an eyebrow. Especially you, she says gently. Laughter breaks out, but it's warm, not mocking. Fallon laughs too, rubbing the back of his neck. Okay, fair. But his expression turns thoughtful. You know, sometimes I wonder if we're all just trying to keep people happy. And maybe that means we don't always say what we really think. Whoopi leans forward. And tonight? Fallon meets her eyes. Tonight feels different. A pause stretches between them, long, charged. The audience senses it. This isn't an interview anymore. It's a conversation between two people who understand the weight of being heard. And suddenly, Fallon asks a question he didn't plan. What's something people misunderstand about you? Whoopi's expression softens. That I don't care. That I'm harsh. That I'm always strong. She shakes her head slightly. I care too much. That's the problem. Silence fills the room. Not awkward, deep. Fallon's voice drops. I think people see strength and forget the person behind it. Whoopi nods. Exactly. The moment lingers, fragile and powerful. And for the first time, Fallon looks genuinely emotional. The cameras catch it. The audience feels it. This is no longer late-night television. This is truth unfolding in front of millions. The conversation keeps unfolding, deeper now, like two people walking into a place neither expected to reach on live television. Fallon's posture has changed completely, no longer upright and polished, but relaxed, attentive, human. Whoopi sits across from him with the calm confidence of someone who knows the power of silence as much as words. A member of the audience shouts softly, "We love you, Whoopi." Applause follows. She smiles warmly, placing a hand over her chest. Thank you, she says. But remember, I'm just a person figuring things out like everyone else. Fallon nods slowly. That's what makes people connect. Not perfection, but honesty. Whoopi looks at him. Then let's keep being honest. The room goes quiet again. Fallon hesitates, then asks something that feels almost too personal for late-night television. Do you ever get tired of carrying expectations? Of being the voice people look to? Whoopi exhales, her eyes drifting for a second as if searching through memories. Every day. The audience leans in. But I keep going, she continues, because if I don't speak, someone else might stay silent too. Fallon swallows, visibly moved. That's powerful. Whoopi shrugs slightly. It's just responsibility. Fallon glances at the crowd, then back at her. You know, I think people came here tonight expecting laughs. A few chuckles break out, but I think they are getting something more. Whoopi smiles. Laughter's easy. Reflection lasts longer. The words hit like a quiet thunderclap. Fallon leans back, speechless for a moment. The audience senses it, the rare, unscripted pause of a host who usually always has something ready to say. This time, he doesn't. And that silence says more than any joke could. He finally speaks, voice softer. I don't even know what to follow that with. The audience laughs gently, but there's admiration in it. Whoopi tilts her head. Then don't follow it. Let it sit. The cameras linger on Fallon's face. He nods slowly. For once, the show isn't rushing forward. It's breathing. The band plays a faint note, then stops again, unsure whether to fill the space or respect it. Fallon turns slightly toward the crowd. Are you guys feeling this? Applause erupts. Some stand. Whoopi watches quietly, almost emotional. And Fallon realizes something in that moment. This isn't just television anymore. It's connection. And it's bigger than both of them. By the time the segment nears its end, the atmosphere in the studio feels transformed. What started as a routine celebrity appearance has turned into a moment people will remember long after the credits roll. The audience sits forward, attentive, almost protective of the honesty that has unfolded. Fallon looks at Whoopi, no script in his hands, no prepared joke left. I don't think I've ever had a conversation like this on the show. Whoopi smiles gently. Maybe that's a good thing. He nods. It is. A pause. Then Fallon speaks again, voice steady but emotional. You made me think tonight. About why we do this. About what matters beyond the laughs. Whoopi's eyes soften. Then it was worth it. The audience claps, long, heartfelt. Fallon glances toward the camera, then back at Whoopi. You didn't just come here to promote something. You came here to say something. Whoopi nods. And you listened. That's Ray. The room feels almost sacred now, the usual chaos of late night replaced by stillness. Then Fallon turns to the audience. What did you guys think? Cheers erupt. Some people shout, others wipe away tears. The reaction is overwhelming. Backstage, producers exchange stunned looks. Social media teams are already buzzing, phones lighting up with messages, clips spreading faster than anyone expected. Fallon leans toward Whoopi one last time. You left me speechless tonight. She smiles. Sometimes silence means you heard something important. The band begins to play softly, signaling the end. But the energy doesn't fade. As the credits prepare to roll, Fallon looks straight into the camera. If you're watching this, I hope you take something from it. Not just entertainment. Something real. The audience stands, applauding louder than before. And beyond the studio walls, the moment explodes online. Clips circulate. Headlines appear. Viewers debate, praise, reflect. Some call it the most honest late-night interview in years. Others say it changed how they see both Fallon and Whoopi. The conversation continues long after the lights dim. And now it turns to you. What did you feel watching this moment unfold? Did it change how you see celebrity interviews or honesty on television? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more explosive, emotional, and unforgettable stories like this, subscribe to Talk Flair, like this video, and join the conversation. Because sometimes the most powerful moments aren't scripted. They just happen when people finally decide to be real.